This is Lonnie with Crafty Traveler, and this is my husband Ernie. And we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Our trailer is 1 year old. And we want to show you the things that we have done to accessorize the trailer to make life a little easier for us. We bought the trailer last year in October 2019. And we weren't able to do as many trips as we thought, but we did do 3 trips. Our first maiden voyage was to Fort Bragg, California, a little over an hour from our home. And then we did a week up at Hat Creek and did some fishing. And then our big trip, our 2-week trip, was at the Eastern Sierras for fishing and camping. And we had a good time. I will post the websites to those videos below. And my channel is also a year old in September, and I've learned a lot about videoing and editing, but I haven't learned how to indicate a video up in the corner. So if anyone can write in the comments to help me out, I'd really appreciate that. I want to mention that we did have 2 things break on the trailer that were covered by the warranty. The first was the motor of the awning. About 2 weeks after we brought the trailer home, we wanted to check the awning, and we extended it out, and it started working fine for the first couple of unrolls, and then it let loose and the awning just fell open. And we couldn't retract it, and Ernie couldn't use a drill to get it to roll back up. So we were stuck, and it was wide open. And we called the insurance or the manufacturer. We called the manufacturer, and they wanted us to take it to our dealer. Well, our dealer is 4 hours away, and the awning was stuck open, so we weren't going anywhere. So we found a mobile RV repair person, and he came out and looked at it and said that the motor was broken. What was broken on it?
The gears.
The gears. So he took the motor and he ordered another one and came up and fixed it within 2 weeks. Before he left, he and his partner and Ernie rolled up the awning, and it took all 3 of you with 3 ladders.
Yeah. So
there was no way that he and I were going to do it together. I'm so glad it happened when we were at home and not out camping somewhere.
Or on the road.
Or on the road, exactly. So we got it fixed. The total cost was about $500, and we did get it reimbursed, but we had to jump through a few hoops. You had to email them a few times.
Call them, email them.
Send them pictures.
And send them the parts.
And send them the parts back. And it took about 2 months to get reimbursed, but we got it. The second thing that was repaired by the warranty was the water heater 12-volt valve relay.
It looks like the valve itself. I went and looked at it.
Oh, okay. We had to take our trailer up to Redding, to Blue Dog RV, where we had purchased it, for the annual inspection. And during that inspection, they found that that valve had failed. They ordered one and expressed it overnight. Luckily, we were planning on spending the night at the Wind River Casino and RV Park. I'll post that video below also. So we went and spent the night there, went back to Blue Dog RV, and they repaired it, and we were fine. And that was on warranty. So now we want to go through and show you the improvements and accessories we've added to the trailer and our truck to make life a little easier for us. First thing I want to show you is our automatic combination lock. We replaced it before our first outing. That way we wouldn't forget the keys. All the items that I'm going to show you I will put down below where we bought them, and this lock we bought on Amazon. Most of the things we bought were either Amazon or eTrailer. Of course, our local hardware store and dollar store were our sources. This lock also, besides the combination, has remote locking and unlocking devices, and I like it a lot. The next item is this door lock that Ernie had to put on because the door lock that came with it doesn't work. It's not over far enough. One of the things that this trailer lacks is drawers. There are no drawers in this trailer, so we've had to do modifications and have accessories to modify for drawers. So the first thing Ernie did was built 2 of these boxes. Now you can pull it out. That go under the wardrobe closets. He built one for under his and mine. Good job. What is the dimension of that?
It's about 15 by 30.
So it goes back there pretty far. So anything we need to store personal items or things that you would put on a nightstand go in there, and you've got some grabby, dice them underneath so it doesn't slide too easily.
Yep.
Can't really see that, but
it's actually on the bottom of the drawer.
It's glued on the bottom of the drawer. So when we're traveling, it's not going to move. We have many command hooks around the trailer for hats and other items, and these little turquoise plastic boxes are from Dollar Store, and we've got command putty under them, and we can put other items up there like keys and wallets and Kleenex and other things. And there's my side with my hats and plastic boxes, and with that command putty under there, they don't move. Another item we bought for storage were these ottoman boxes, and they are storage for our shoes. And they can conveniently be moved around anywhere we want to go. We can come in and sit on the sofa and change our dirty shoes to our slippers. And it also helps the dog get back up on the couch or the bed. One of the big items that Ernie put in was a max fan. There was already a hole there because it was a vent, so he installed the max fan. And it has helped us a lot, keeping the air circulated in the trailer. It has a remote control with up to 10 speeds. Good investment. One of the things that we really wanted, because this trailer has very little counter space, is this countertop extension. And Ernie built it. And tell us about it, Ernie. What kind of wood is it?
That's just laminated pine.
And what kind of sealant and dye stain did you put on it?
Just a regular walnut stain. Try to make it dark, and then sealed it with Varathane.
So it's essentially waterproof, huh? And it's pretty flush to the counter. That will be a well worth addition to the kitchen. And then the brackets underneath, you bought those on Amazon?
Yeah.
And can you demonstrate how to lower it, please?
There's 2 little latches underneath. You just hit them at the same time. Down it goes, and it goes flush.
Yes. And our kitchen sink, deep, big, but sometimes that can be a little bit of a problem. Ernie, being his woodworking hobby, made a cutting board that fits right into the sink. And then I also have this rolled up rack that I can use when doing dishes and draining them. So the sink, because it is so big and deep, I bought this collapsible drain pan that I can fit in there easily, and that way I don't use very much water when I'm doing dishes. And then I can lift it out, and if we're in a place where we can dump it on some bushes, we can do that, or we can dump it down the sink. Let me tell you about the storage ideas I had for my cabinets. First of all, I have these expandable bars. And then I made a number of these little bowl cozies that you can put a hot bowl in and take it over to the table. I can even use this in the microwave. And then up here, I use these dish racks to put the plates, and the cups will fit underneath. And it all fits in there very nice and travels very well. I have this little trash bin right here that I put plastic bags in. It hooks right on the cabinet door, and it's very convenient for when I'm chopping vegetables or something and I got to throw something away really quickly. And then under here, we use this rack, which is a rack for canned goods, and I can put at least a dozen canned goods on these two racks. And then underneath I put foil and bags. And on this side I have a few plastic bins. This is where we store a lot of our dry food, and so that all goes in there. So for spices, we got some of these magnetic canisters, and we wrote what the spice is on there. And we have these extra little magnets that kind of hold things in place when we're traveling, but so far nothing has fallen off. The microwave, I store extra microwave dishes. For our knives, Ernie put up a magnetic knife rack. And then these canisters are on with command tape, command strip, and they don't move. These things, the little cup and these bottles, they all get stored in the sink when we're moving. And the oven, it is big enough to make things. We've had muffins and a few things, so we bought smaller pans, and they get stored in the oven. Underneath the oven, we store our pots and pans, and because there's no doors, we have plastic pull-out for storage. We put bungee cords for the refrigerator and the freezer, so when we're traveling, we have it in this mode. They haven't come open yet, but in previous RVs that we've had, trailers, we've had occasion where the refrigerator opened. So we're just taking, it's just an insurance. And then when we're not moving, or we're sedentary and not using the refrigerator, we can wrap it around like this to keep it open so it doesn't get moldy in there. So there's a lot of storage under our dinette. And you can open this to get under it. Or you can lift up the cushions, which is a problem. So we found plastic bins to go under there that are pretty long. So in here I have store paper towels, coffee pot, tea, Kleenex, things like that. I have a collection of these tins, so I put tea in them. Or we have one for coffee. And that keeps them fresh, and critters don't get in there. Here's our table, and this is our Silverware Caddy. Again, because there are no drawers in this trailer, we had to improvise. So I bought the Silverware Caddy, and when we travel, I just put it in the kitchen sink, as well as our napkin holder. We also have storage on this side, and again we have another plastic bin. I have plastic bags, and we usually put the dog stuff into there. This is what we use for a trash can. You just get a, what is it, a
13 gallon.
13 gallon plastic bag, and it clamps in there, and then you can move it around, which we move it around a lot. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's over there, but it's easy to move around and it's convenient for trash. Under here, this cubby has no doors or anything, so we bought this netting, and we store snacks in there, flashlights, Lucy lights, things like that, and when we travel, this netting prevents them from falling out. We have a few more baskets that are secured by command strips. Our Blu-ray is secured by a command putty. Our TV. And the cabinet up here, I have bowls that are inset bowls. They are inside each other.
Like Russian dolls.
This caddy, which is actually a shower caddy, when I purchased it, it came with two. So I used one here with the hooks here, and this has entertainment things, Yahtzee, cards, an extra towel, some markers, tape, things like that that are easy to get to. Now I'm in the bathroom, and one of the most convenient things we bought was this lotion dispenser. It attaches to the wall, and you can put your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in, and that way you don't have to worry about bottles. And these little shelves are kind of worthless because they're pretty shallow. Again, we have lots of command hooks for washcloths and towels, and we put in this extended shower rod which bows out and gives us a little more room when we're showering. That's what it looks like with the shower curtain pulled over, and I replaced the shower curtain with something a little more decorative and cute. We have a nice wardrobe, bathroom area, and at first I was hooking the clothes in this direction with the hooks going in, and after the first trip when they all fell out, I asked my Facebook friends that have RVs, and they suggested to put the hooks from the outside in, and I haven't had anything fall since. Okay, one thing that Ernie did, we had this leftover bike rack from when our kids were little, and we don't have bikes anymore, so he modified it to be on the bumper of the trailer, and it is yeah. And then we have two chairs that will go on there and bungee them down when we're traveling. What else did you want to say about that?
In order to facilitate not covering the lights or the license plate, I did have to move the spare tire over about 6 inches just to get it out of the way.
No, that wasn't too big of a deal.
No.
Okay. Just recently, we put up this solar slide topper for our slide. That way, when it rains, the slide won't get wet and debris won't fall on it. And it works perfectly. And we did it ourselves, and the video will be indicated down below. So what is this, Ernie?
This is a, it says cargo rack, but we use it to put our generator on up front. And couple of extra things. I added a couple of head bumpers underneath, and then these brackets will catch the wheels and allow me to lock the wheels in place while we're in motion. So the generator sits forward, and then it's chained on and locked on for safety factor.
And you can still get to the propane tanks. We had to put a soft cover on the propane tanks
With a zipper.
with a zipper. And it's how much weight is added to the hitch?
About 125 pounds total, including the generator.
But our truck handles that very well.
One of the first things we added to the truck for convenience is this bumper. It serves two purposes. Number one, it's a good cow catcher or a deer catcher if you need it. But you flip a couple levers, and now I can crawl up and work under the hood. It took me about 3 hours to install because I had to go through and bolt it on from underneath.
And where did you buy that?
This was at E-Trailer.
E-Trailer. And I'll put that at the bottom.
One of the first things I found is that the stock mirrors are inadequate, so I got these mirrors that extend out and allow me to see beyond the trailer. The other thing is that I had to pull the door covers off on the inside, plug them in, and then I had to go down to the dealer to get them wired into the computer. Plus they add blinker lights, puddle light they call them, so that as you open the door at night with the lights on, you can see down.
And you took it to the Dodge dealer?
Yeah. They'll program it for a few bucks. So now that issue is solved. Okay. The other thing we needed to get were the running boards, because the height of the truck is just a little bit too much to make it in one. So we added the running boards, which allowed us to split the difference on the step. Makes it much easier to get in and out of. One of the next things we added was the camper shell. Went to the nearest camper shell dealer in Santa Rosa and added that. So now we have lockable storage for all of our stuff that we take with us when we go camping. And then there was one additional challenge, and that was what to do with the fishing rods. Where do you put the fishing rods? Do you get a tube or whatever? So I built this little stand underneath that the fishing rods and nets go underneath. It only raises the bed about 6.5 inches.
And once it's all closed up, you can't really see that.
And of course you can't pull a trailer without a hitch. So I happened to get a draw-tight hitch that's custom made for Ram 1500 for the year that I have, which is a 2018. It's a bolt-on, and it took me about 3 hours to install it myself. The big thing is you have to make sure you have a big enough torque wrench to torque it to specifications.
And you had to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, another tool.
Another tool.
And where did you buy that hitch?
The hitch was from E-Trailer, and then the 250-pound torque wrench was from Amazon.
Good. Well, I hope you were informed by this video. We wanted to share these things with you that we have put on our trailer and truck to make things just a little bit easier for us, as we are senior citizens. There are videos that I'm going to indicate below that talk about the trips we did, that talk about the video of putting on the slide topper and the rack for the generator. And we always advise you to go to the websites to look up their videos, and on YouTube, which is what we did also. Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, and always stay crafty.